Peptides are powerful and often misunderstood.
And we are here to change that one conversation at a time.
I'm Dr. Kylie Burton.
And I'm Jessica Brickie.
This is Pep Talk, Peptides Unpacked. Science made simple, results made real. Now, we've both been on some peptides. Jess has tried more out than I have, so she's a little bit farther ahead in the game. And we just wanted to share a quick 10-15 minute video or episode with you guys about what we've seen and walk you through our journeys and why we've decided to start with what we've started with. So, Jess, you start first.
Yep. So, if you haven't listened to the episode where I talk about my path, I started with getting educated about peptides to support my nutrition clients that I thought they were using GLP and GLPs irresponsibly. And once I went down that education rabbit hole, I just fell head over heels with the science of peptides. And I learned quickly how brain protective they could be. I will do anything to protect my brain, lower my risk of things like Alzheimer's, dementia, and stroke. And so my first peptide was microdosing trzepatide, which is GLP-1 and GIP.
Let
And
me just reiterate that.
yeah,
You didn't start GLP-1 and GIP or tirzepatide for weight loss. You
correct.
started it for brain health.
Yes, ma'am, I did. And just a tiny little amount. And it was pretty quickly, my results were somebody gave me my brain back. I was smart again. I wasn't in the middle of a sentence saying, what was I saying? Which was so common for me and is common for a lot of women that hit menopause or a lot of stress or inflammation in their body, inflammation in their brain. I was suddenly smart again. The other thing that I've talked about is how it actually lowered my slight bit of incontinence that I was having because that was all about inflammation there. And I did lose 18 pounds over a few months. That was a nice side effect, but not my reason for starting. I felt amazing on these peptides. I had better energy. My sleep wasn't an issue. I was walking the talk. I was doing all the things, and this little thing just rocked my world. I knew it was going to based on the science, and it certainly did not let me down. So, no issues with side effects that everybody talks about. One, because my diet is on point. I'm very careful making sure that I get the protein, get the fiber, get the hydration. So I never had any slowdown, but also I am a big proponent of slow and low. Even if you need to get to the place where you're higher doses, that's where you start. So for me, starting there was incredible. My next peptide that I started was one of your favorites, BPC-157 and TB-500. I did it because I had a chronic ankle injury. I had rolled my ankle and I just could not get it to heal. It was just nagging. Um, so I did that, and within probably a week, for what had taken me months to try to heal from, it was gone. And I did it as an injection. They call it the Wolverine, as we've said before. So that healed that pretty quick. I used it a second time when I tried to cut the tip of my finger off. I couldn't have any even air on the finger. It was so painful for the first, 12 hours. Within less than 72 hours, not only could I have things touching it, I was in my office giving massage treatments. So there was pressure, full pressure. So within 72 hours, I went from don't even look at my finger, it was so painful, to full pressure, like crazy pressure on that finger. Really, really quick. It was like I could watch it heal. So that was my second peptide. My third peptide is let's see, I've done a lot actually now that I'm thinking about it. It was PT-141. That is the one that is in the sexual wellness category. That's for kind of the motivation, the want to drive. I've been married, it'll be 30 years this summer, so there's that component of, yep, there you are, buddy. I've seen you around a minute or two. But there's also the hormone shift that starts to happen, different things that are happening in the body where that sexual drive maybe drops. This is the one that is the motivator and how your body is going to respond with brain signaling when it comes to your relationship around sex. So that one I did. That one has been really amazing, like to the point that I would roll over at night and reach out for my husband to want to cuddle, which is not something I wanted to do for years. Let me have my body pillow and snuggle up on my own and get a good night's sleep. So I can tell when I'm using it and when I'm not. It's very obvious when I have that one on board. It's just that's a lovely one. I have done MOTS-C. I've done MOTS-C to help support my mitochondria and energy. I need a smaller dose than what is prescribed. I need that to be in a little bit because too much was just making me actually more tired. I was very tired in the beginning. Those first couple weeks were rough for me as there was the cellular turnover, the rebuilding of the cells, making them stronger, making the mitochondria stronger. That can be tough for some people initially, and it was for me, and then it leveled off and it was great. But I have found that my dose on a lower level with that one is better. That's the beautiful thing about compounding is that you can adjust your dose to find your sweet spot. So you can be prescribed a certain amount, but you might need a significant amount less than what is prescribed, and that's okay. What else have I tried? The new C-Max nasal spray. That one is new to me. That is amazing. So I have a little bit of monkey mind. I have never been diagnosed with anything like ADHD or anything like that. But lately I've really felt, even though I'm not getting lost in conversation, forgetting why I walked into the room. That all disappeared when I started microdosing GLP. I still felt like my brain had all tabs open and I was having a hard time. And maybe it's just because I do have so many projects on my plate, but having a hard time completing tasks. There was just so many things that needed to be done. I was having a hard time zeroing in and getting one done and ignoring the interruptions. And since starting the CMAX for me, I have definitely been able to be zeroed in on what I needed to do. You and I recently were preparing for expos that we did like, okay, let's go. We had a week and a
Yeah,
half. We
last
had to get
second
it together,
decisions to
right?
show up.
And
And I'm like, I don't even know if I can get printing done in time, but I'm gonna
right.
try.
We're going to do it. And so having that is a tool for me to ignore those other projects and really be focused. I'm really good under pressure anyway. I've always been one to be able to zero in when I have a deadline. But this was even better. So for me, you do it 5 days on, 2 days off. It's a nasal spray directly to that. It crosses the blood-brain barrier directly to the central nervous system. It's what they found is the really best way to take that particular one is the nasal spray. And it's been great. So Monday through Friday, I do the nasal spray. I take it. I'm not taking it on Saturdays and Sundays. So it's 5 days on, 2 days off nasal spray. And it is a home run for focus for me. I love it. I think that covers all of the peptides that I've been doing. And once you do them one and you have good results, you want all of them. You look at all the
You want to
benefits,
try them
all the
all.
things, you want them all.
Yeah. I'm thinking as you say, talk about CMAX and how it is amazing at helping you be focused and clear your mind and just, get stuff done. That's what every entrepreneur needs.
hmm
So if you're trying to manage and run your own business, or if you're like at a job where you are dependent upon your brain, I think about my dad as an engineer, like his company is so dependent on my dad's brain that they'll have people like Google and dare I say this, Lilly Pharmaceuticals, which is one of their people, but they will request that my dad is the only one that gets to come out on to their facility. So I'm like, people who are dependent on their brain, you need CMAX. That's going to give your brain the support, the clarity, the focus that it needs to get this stuff done and stay sharp no matter your age. My list is simple. It's still BPC-157 and methylene blue, but I did discover that methylene blue's side effect is to make you more sensitive to sunburning. I don't need that. I'm already a redhead and white. I'm going to be pink all summer long. So I haven't stopped taking my methylene blue as we enter summer. I'll pick it back up in the fall. Um, I ran for the first time in a little while this morning. I got to build my lungs back up before I can go 20 minutes straight and see how my knees do based upon that BPC 157. But that's been my list. It's been simple and it's how I
But
am, I
you're loving
guess.
the science behind everything. And um, you've gotten other peptides for the family to try, which is great. I want to go back what you said about CMAX really fast. One of the other things when you said about people being in business and depending on their brain, one of the big benefits is that it supports the brain-derived BDNF. And for people that are under stress, that is not kind of being manufactured in the same way. So CMAX is excellent for anybody, which is most people these days, that is under stress. This helps your brain function better and it helps you deal with stress better. This is a big one for people that have stress responses, maybe not in the best place.
That's a big one for living in 2026. And
Mm-hmm.
if you have a Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube account, you need it to keep your sanity. Done. All right. That's a wrap.